All right, so get ready, because today we're doing a deep dive into this YouTube video.
Okay.
And it's called Racist Woman Insults Black Soldier on Plane. Next day, she sees news and realizes she made a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
And it's from the channel Hypuntler.
Okay.
So this one's really...
Sounds intense.
Yeah, it's going to be a bumpy ride.
Yeah.
So...
Buckle up.
Yeah, buckle up.
I'm ready.
So the video starts and we meet Julia Prescott.
Okay.
She's like this high-powered executive, and she's like super stressed out.
Oh, no.
Yeah, she's at Chicago O'Hare trying to get to Atlanta for this big conference, but her flight's delayed.
Oh, so she's already in a bad mood.
She's like on edge.
I feel like we all been there.
For sure.
Especially at O'Hare.
Oh, yeah. O'Hare's the worst.
It's one of the worst.
So you know she's already like ready to snap.
Right.
And that's when we meet Sergeant Daniel Parker.
Okay.
He's a black soldier, also heading to Atlanta, and he's sitting in first class. Nice.
Yeah. And the video makes it super clear that he paid for his seat.
Got it.
Like, no special treatment.
Okay, that's an important detail.
It is, because that's where all the, like, drama starts.
Right, because if he had gotten a free upgrade or something, then
exactly.
This whole story would be different.
Yeah, so it's interesting because we find out that Julia, like, she sees herself as colorblind.
Oh, okay.
But she has all these, like...
prejudices.
I see.
What do you mean?
Like, deep down, those biases are still there.
Yeah, and they, like, come out, especially when she feels, like, entitled or, like...
Threatened?
Yeah, threatened, like someone's taking something from her.
Oh, that's interesting.
So, like, during the whole, like, boarding process and everything, Julia's internal monologue is basically just filled with all these, like, assumptions about Daniel. Like, she's wondering if he got a free upgrade, or she makes this, like, snarky comment about his daughter being proud of his uniform. It's just, like, all these little microaggressions that really reveal her true feelings.
Yeah, those microaggressions can be so insidious.
They are.
It's like death by 1,000 cuts.
It really is.
They just wear you down over time.
Yeah, and it's like she doesn't even realize she's doing it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that's the thing about implicit bias.
Yeah.
Like, it can operate even when people think they're being totally unbiased.
Exactly. And this is a perfect example of that.
Like with Julia.
Yeah, she might think she doesn't see color. But her actions show that she's really uncomfortable with...
a black man.
Yeah, a black man.
From first class.
Yeah, being in a space
that
that she associates with privilege.
It's like she feels like her privilege is being threatened.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so messed up because it's like she can't accept that he just like exists there.
Right.
Like he deserves to be there.
Yeah, he paid for his seat.
Exactly.
He's not taking anything away from her.
Yeah, and it just gets worse from there.
Oh.
Like during the flight,
yeah,
she makes all these snide comments about him getting special treatment.
Oof.
She's like, I paid for my seat. Like, I'm not looking for handouts.
It's almost like she needs to justify her discomfort.
Yes.
By finding fault with him.
Totally.
It's like she's projecting her own insecurities and biases onto him.
Yeah.
Creating a narrative that just fits her preconceived notions.
Exactly. And it's so sad because, like, Daniel tries to explain that he's rushing to Atlanta because his daughter, Kayla, has this serious medical issue.
Oh, wow.
And Julia's response...
Like, what does she say?
She basically just brushes him off.
Oh, no.
And calls it a sob story.
Oh, that's awful.
It's like she can't even see him as a father who's just trying to get to his sick kid.
It's like she's dehumanizing him.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It really is.
And that's the danger of prejudice.
Yeah.
It allows us to disconnect from the human consequences of our actions.
So they land in Atlanta.
Okay.
Julia dives headfirst into her conference, trying to, like, forget about the whole encounter.
Put it out of her mind.
Yeah. But then she sees this news report about Kayla.
No.
And everything changes.
Wow. I can't wait to hear what happens next.
Yeah. It's a crazy turn of events.
I bet.
It's like fate stepped in and said, nope, you got to face this.
It's like, she can't run from it anymore.
Exactly.
It's getting good.
So the news report is all about Kayla, and she's fighting for her life.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And she needs this specialized surgery. But military insurance won't cover all of it.
Oh, man. So they're, like, struggling financially, too.
Big time. And you can see it, like, hits Julia hard.
Yeah.
Like, she realizes
that
the man she was so rude to is dealing with this, like...
this horrible situation.
Yeah. Every parent's worst nightmare.
Makes you think, doesn't it?
Totally.
About how we treat each other.
Yeah, like what if that was my kid?
Right, exactly.
So Julia, she's at this conference, but she's totally distracted.
Yeah, like she can't even focus.
No, she's like physically there.
Right.
But mentally, she's with Daniel and Kayla.
It's like she's having this moral crisis.
Yeah, for sure.
Like her world is being turned upside down.
And the conference, which was supposed to be this big deal.
Right. She was so focused on it before.
Exactly. Now it just seems
meaningless.
Yeah, like totally pointless.
Wow.
So that night, Julia donates $10,000 to Daniel's fundraiser.
Oh, wow. That's
a
lot of money.
It is. But you can tell, like, it's not enough for her.
Like, it doesn't
clear her conscience.
Right. It's like she's trying to buy her way out of feeling guilty.
Yeah, kind of.
But true change comes from within.
Exactly. Like, she needs to do more.
So what does she do?
Well, she decides to go to the hospital.
Oh, wow. To see Kayla.
Yeah.
That's a big step.
It is. And it's so awkward. Like, she goes into Kayla's room and introduces herself as a friend.
Oh, my gosh.
I know. So cringy.
But it's like she's trying.
Yeah. She's trying to make things right.
It takes guts to face your mistakes like that.
For sure.
And to try to make amends.
So she brings gifts for Kayla.
Okay.
And she tells her stories.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, and you can see...
Like she's being genuine.
Yeah, like she really cares.
That's good.
But here's the thing.
What?
She doesn't stop there.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah, Julia realizes that Daniel is like totally overwhelmed.
Yeah, with everything that's going on.
With the hospital.
Right.
And all the paperwork.
That stuff can be a nightmare.
Seriously. So Julia...
What does she do?
She like takes charge.
Oh, wow.
She uses her like organizational skills from her job
to help
Daniel navigate everything.
That's amazing.
I know. It's like she's finally using her powers for good.
It's like she's found a new purpose.
Yeah, and she starts calling in favors. Yeah, trying to speed up Kayla's surgery.
So she's like working her connections.
She's like a one-woman army.
I love it.
And then the day of the surgery arrives.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, it's super tense.
I bet.
Julia's there with Daniel and his family. They're all just waiting.
For the news.
Yeah, and you can feel the
tension,
fear,
hope.
It's a roller coaster of emotions.
And then finally,
the surgeon comes out.
Yes, and Kayla made it.
Okay, goodness.
I know, everyone's so relieved.
That's amazing.
And Julia, she's crying.
Yeah.
But this time it's like happy tears.
Tears of joy.
Relief.
Like they all went through this together.
Totally. Like they're bonded now.
Wow, what a story, right?
And to think it all started with that
awful encounter on the plane.
Crazy how life works.
It is.
I can't wait to hear what happens next.
So Kayla starts recovering.
Okay.
And Julia's there.
Like she's really sticking around.
Yeah, she's not like just disappearing. She's visiting Kayla all the time.
Oh, wow. So she's like
yeah,
part of the family now almost.
It's like she's found this new purpose.
It's like all those things she used to care about.
Right.
Like her job and all that.
Yeah, the corporate world.
It just seems so...
empty.
Yeah. Empty. Like meaningless.
It's like she's finally seeing what really matters.
And it's so cool because Julia, she actually starts trying to change her company.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's like advocating for these philanthropic initiatives.
Wow, so she's like using her business skills for good.
Exactly.
I love that.
And get this, the company's like super impressed.
No way.
Yeah.
So they're like on board with this.
Totally, and they offer her this new role.
Oh, wow.
Leading their corporate social responsibility program.
Like a total career shift.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I know, right?
Like she's found a way to align her values with her work.
Exactly.
That's so important. Okay, so there's this really sweet part in the video.
Tell me.
It's a few months later.
Okay.
And Julia's at this barbecue.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. At Daniel's aunt's house.
So she's like really part of the family now.
Totally.
And how does she feel?
She seems so happy, like she's finally found
a place where she belongs.
Yeah.
It's like all those barriers have broken down.
Yeah, like she's not the outsider anymore.
It's so heartwarming.
And then there's this scene where Daniel's teaching Kayla how to throw a football, and she's like still recovering.
But she's getting there.
Yeah.
It's like a symbol of her
strength.
Yeah, her resilience.
And as Julia's watching them, you can see her thinking about how much her life has changed.
Right, like how fate brought her to this point.
And it's like this whole experience has like opened her eyes to the things that really matter.
And from that point on,
Julia dedicates herself to fighting for what's right.
So she's like an activist now?
Yeah, she's like speaking out against injustice.
Wow.
And using her platform to help others.
It's like she's found her true calling.
Totally.
It's so inspiring.
It really is.
Like it gives you hope for humanity.
It does.
Yeah.
So what do you think is like the big takeaway from this whole story?
Well, I think it shows us that we all have the potential to change.
Yeah.
Like, even if we've made mistakes in the past,
right,
we can always choose to do better.
And Julia's story is like proof of that.
Like, it shows that even when we mess up, there's still hope.
And that, like, even small acts of kindness can have a huge impact.
It's like a ripple effect.
Totally.
It spreads outwards.
And that's what we need more of in the world.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah,
I think that's a great place to wrap up this deep dive.
I think so, too.
It's been amazing talking about this with you. And I hope our listeners out there feel inspired.
To make the difference.
To be the change they want to see in the world.
Exactly.
Thanks for having me.
It was great having you.
Always a pleasure.
I don't even know if you can handle it.